Welcome to Ultimate Playlist. I'm Matt, that's Briggs, and this is a show where Briggs and I come up with the top 10 songs around a theme to create its ultimate playlist, and each one of us are bringing our top 5 to the show. And today's theme is the Ultimate 2010 Hot 100 playlist. We've got a little theme going, Briggs.
Yeah, I like it. I like doing these. It's pretty cool. 2010 was an interesting year. I mean, they're all kind of interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's some good tunes, some really cool tunes, some not so cool tunes,
That's
which
true.
I'm sure we'll get into.
Yes.
But you want to hop right in with my number 5?
Yep, let's hop right in.
Sure. My number 5 was Like a G6 by Far East Movement, featuring the Cataracts and Dev.
Bottles in the ice, like a blizzard. When we drink, we do it right. Getting slizzard, sipping scissor in my ride, like 3-6. Now I'm feeling so fly, like a G6, like a G6, like a G6. Now I'm feeling so fly, like a G6, like a G6, like a G6.
That's pretty sick, actually.
Yeah. Do you remember that song?
No, and I must have skimmed through
okay.
it when I was looking at stuff today, and because it doesn't strike me where this was on the list.
Oh, okay. I definitely remember this one from that time. This was a big hit. It actually hit number 1 3 non-consecutive weeks, which is kind of
Oh,
weird.
interesting, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Far East Movement. And that was apparently the first single by Asian American artists to achieve that feat.
Oh, nice, okay.
Yeah, so this feature, like the sample at the beginning, basically the whole hook is by this Dev who had another song called Booty Bounce, and that was one of the verses for Booty Bounce, drinking scissorp and getting slizzard or whatever she's saying. So this song, Like a G6, was produced by the Cataracts, who also wrote and produced that other song, Booty Bounce, with Dev. So they just basically threw it in there and then went with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of like similarity with this style happening.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
there's definitely some thematic continuity in this year.
And
there's like several archetype songs, I feel like.
Yeah, and like some of them are more 8-bit with the kind
like
of
this
synth.
is just kind of a shitty beat, right?
Right, yeah, but
which I love. I'm not saying that as
not
pejorative.
At all. It's definitely like a simpler kind of lower
it's like
5 type
distorted 808 or whatever.
Exactly.
That kind of vibe.
Yeah, which is cool. But that's
absolutely
definitely pervasive. And also like a lot of space in these recordings too. Like there's not much going on in that song besides her voice and the the bass and the very simple kit.
Which I like.
I like too. Yeah, it gives a lot of breath into it. Yeah, that's a cool one. What do you remember? What number this was on the
it
year
was.
end?
I have it here. It was number 37 on the year end, and obviously it was a number 1 at the peak.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So big hit for Far East Movement.
Yeah, big hit. Yeah, I'm all over the place too on this thing. I think mostly though I'm within the top 50. I would say sometimes as I went
all
down.
Over it.
As I went down, I didn't.
There were some
know as many.
deep cuts. There were some deep cuts that were pretty good though.
Yeah, totally. All right, shall we move on to my number 5?
Yeah, let's do it.
My number 5 is Animal by Neon Trees. Neon Trees, Animal.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, they were like there was a lot of like indie music like
indie
this.
pop, like indie rock pop or whatever
at the time, but not a lot of it. I don't think hit this year end.
No,
you know what I mean? Like there was just very few examples of kind of that. I don't know, almost like Killers or even like Vampire Weekend,
Strokes or whatever. Yeah, all that stuff.
None of that really kind of made it except for this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really know Neon Trees. I knew they had a second song called Everybody Talks that was big as well from a few years later, which is actually a really cool song too. But I like this band. Like I went through those two discs today and I was like, oh yeah, these are actually like, this is really, really good. So the album is Habits. It didn't really It only hit 113 on the album 200. So the album itself didn't get very far, but the song did. The song went up to number 13 on the Hot 100, and then it peaked. It was number 60. Oh, so I guess I was past 50. Number 61 for the year.
Yeah.
But it did hit number 1 on the alternative charts, and
which makes sense.
It totally makes sense. The crazy thing about that is it took 32 weeks to get there.
Weird.
32 weeks. Like that's
a long time.
It's a record. Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't, a lot of times these songs don't last 32 weeks on any chart,
right.
And for it to take that long and get there is pretty cool. So it was kind of a slow burn. I know they played it live a lot, like on TV shows and stuff.
It got used a lot. Yeah. This is
used.
the era where stuff really started getting used heavily in commercials and whatnot.
Yeah.
Apparently this song was in Applebee's All You Can Eat Boneless Wings, More Flavor commercial.
Oh man, that's
that. Whatever,
actually,
you got to get paid somehow, right?
That's true, but that kind of sours me on them a little bit. Like I don't know that I would sell out to Applebee's.
I doubt that Applebee's wings have more flavor.
That is absolutely true.
I dispute that claim. I hope these guys got a good paycheck from it, though.
Yeah, me too. I think they've done pretty well because then their next albums charted higher. Like I think,
right.
Not their next album, but the album after that went to something like 6 on the album 200, and they pretty consistently played and released records. They got their start because the Killers drummer saw them play and was like, "Oh, these guys need to come on tour with us." So they did a North American tour with the Killers, and it broke them from there.
Great.
Also, Elaine Bradley, the drummer, great chick drummer. She is super good.
Okay.
And
cool.
Tyler Glenn, great singer too. He's the lead singer on this. So I think a really good underrated band. Definitely went under the radar for me. I knew those two famous songs.
Right.
But
I've heard this song for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't know much about them. Yeah. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Especially in an era where
Didn't see it
rock
much.
music is on the way out.
Not a lot of rock.
Yeah.
Cool. So should we move on to your number 4?
Yes. My number 4 is How Low by Ludacris.
How low can you go? 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 She could face down. The top of your booty jiggling out your jeans, baby.
I love Ludacris. He's so funny. He consistently makes me laugh. And this is kind of a return to form. He has got a million albums, right? This is the first lead single from his 7th album, Battle of the Sexes. His last couple albums, I guess, were a little more serious in tone. This one's certainly old school Ludacris. Yeah, I love Ludacris. He's an awesome rapper, too.
Yeah, he's good.
I'm kind of a sucker for anyone who raps really fast, and he does it really well.
He does. Yeah.
But this was a big hit. This was it was 36 on the Hot 100.
Pretty good for a rap
year
team.
end. Yeah. It what was the peak? I think was I missed it. Maybe at 13 or something. It was a big hit. It's his best selling single as a lead artist. This is also the era where everyone was guesting on everyone else's
all over
tracks.
the place. Everybody's on everything is what it is. Just this mashup.
There's a few offenders. Ludacris is one of them, which is fine. I like Ludacris. It's oftentimes those guest features are the best part of those songs.
That's true.
There's a lot of really dramatic beats with a bad chorus but cool rap. You know?
That's right.
That's one of the archetypes. But this song is fun. It's just dumb Ludacris sex song.
Yeah.
But sold over 2 million units, certified double platinum. So big hit.
Big hit. This was definitely on my honorable mention list. So it didn't crack my top 5, but it is a really cool song.
I do like Ludacris. And I like the pitched up stuff. It's so dumb
ridiculous.
but it's crunchy and cool sounding. I like the production. It's pretty good.
Yeah, the production is amazing. It's a great tune. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice one.
Yeah, that's what I got for Luda.
Move on to my number 4.
Yeah.
Empire State of Mind, Jay-Z, Alicia Keys.
I got a plug special ed, I got it made. If Jesus paying LeBron, I'm paying Dwayne Wade. 3 dice CeeLo, 3 card Marley. Labor Day parade, rest in peace Bob Marley. Statue of Liberty, long live the World Trade, long live the King, yo. I'm from the Empire State, that's...
Concrete jungle where dreams are made.
one.
Yeah.
That's a great song. It's definitely on my short list.
Yeah, great song, killer heavy beat, like such a heavy
Yep.
beat. Even it's kind of like
Totally.
a slowed down OPP too. It's a little bit, it's a
Oh,
very
yeah.
similar pattern to it. Just with that heavy triplet at the end.
Yep.
And just that plucky piano. Such a great groove.
It's really good. Totally.
And huge hit. Did hit number one on the Billboard Hot 100. It was number one for 5 weeks too. So you know it spanned.
Mega.
And you have two big stars together. You got Alicia Keys
Right.
and you've got, Jay-Z. Alicia Keys is kind of getting top of her game pretty much at this time.
Yeah.
She's super
Well,
famous.
she
and
sounds
he's
great
famous.
on this song,
She
too.
sounds great. Yeah, she's awesome. I love Alicia Keys.
Yeah, she's good.
And so it was number 21 for the year, but nominated for 3 Grammys, won 2, and Alicia Keys did a follow-up too. It was, she did Empire State of Mind, except for Broken Down, which was it referenced this in another cool song. I like it when musicians talk and the artists talk back and forth to each other. It's a nice thing.
Yeah, totally.
Through their songs. But originally this wasn't written by Jay-Z. It was written by Angela Hunt and Janet Sewell. I think that's how you pronounce her name. It might be Sewell, Sewell. But they were in London. They're producers and writers. They were in London doing some stuff in a hotel, and they were at their hotel, and they just, I don't know, they were gone for a few weeks and they were missing home. And they were saying, every time I'm in New York, I complain about the subway or it's dirty or the homeless or
Right.
whatever. But then when I'm away, I'm like, I want to just be back there. And so they
Totally.
came up with this song. And so when they got back, they sent it to Rock Records that Jay-Z is on? Rock Nation. That's what it is. To Jay-Z's, I don't know if that's his label or whatever, his media group.
That would make sense.
And it was panned. I don't know that Jay-Z ever saw it, but it was initially panned. But a few months later, she was at a barbecue with another producer friend who worked for a different record company. And he heard it, loved it, and got it to Jay-Z directly, who that night recorded the song. Was like, this is awesome. And I guess it was originally there was the verses were sung probably kind of rappy style. That's never been released. They said that they were going to release that sometime. So that'd be
Okay.
kind of cool to hear.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to hear, but he changed it. He it's similar, but he changed it to match his
Right.
flow, and then they recorded
Sure.
it. I guess Hunt was the original singer too, doing the Alicia Keys part, but she recommended. She's like, I'm not really the right fit for that. You should get Alicia Keys, and they did. So there you go.
And it worked. Yeah, this is a big hit.
Totally worked.
This was
Big
on.
hit.
This was on the year end 2009 as well, wasn't it? It was
I think
one
so.
of those weird ones.
There's
that
a couple
crossed
that,
over years
that did that. Yeah. So I think you're right. And the last thing I want to say is this was Jay-Z's first number one.
Weird.
Weird.
That's weird because he has so many good songs before this.
And done with stuff with other megastars like Kanye.
Right.
But yeah, it's first number one.
Hey, good for Jay-Z.
Good for Jay-Z. So shall we move on to your number 3,
Sure.
I think.
Yeah, my number 3 is "Teach Me How to Dougie" by Cali Swag District.
I make the party shine bright when it started gloomy. This beat was bubble gum, so I had to chew it.
Taste me how to duck, taste me how to duck, taste me how to duck, taste me how to duck.
All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. You ain't fucking with my Dougie.
Taste me how to duck, taste me how to duck, taste me how to duck, taste me how to duck.
All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. You ain't fucking with my
The
Dougie.
name is Young. For them dudes who don't know me.
There you go.
I know I'm from the
Did you know this one?
I didn't remember it until I crossed it today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. I like a song that tells you tells you you're supposed to do a dance or tells you how to do a dance. There's a bunch of them.
Get Swifty.
This is a good one. I don't know. I like everything about this. Just like a dumb 808 beat.
Yep.
Once again, not much going on.
Nope.
The only melodic part is the tuned bass drum.
Yeah.
And then heavy cowbell, which I also appreciate.
Yeah, in spots.
Yep. It's a cool song. I like this one a lot. It makes me smile.
It's funny. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's that slow rap stuff that really is pervasive for the last 15 years, really. But it's interesting too. Like a lot of the slower.
This one has.
A lot of the slower
Go ahead.
rap, a lot of the slower rap, just if it's like Drake doing it or something, I just get, I'm just bored by it. But he's got a cool voice and vibe to him.
Yeah, this was like 4 MCs in this group. A couple of them are sadly deceased at this point, but so they, this band is no more. But this was a big hit for them. Peaked at number 28 on the Hot 100. It was 98, I think, on the year end.
Oh, wow, yeah.
98. So way down at the
Just
bottom.
made it.
But man, it's catchy, and get into it. But yeah, of course, the Dougie is the dance.
Have you seen it been done?
Oh yeah.
What's it look like?
It's kind of sway from side to side, and you do like stuff by your head.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of inspired. It was inspired by Dougie Fresh.
Oh,
you
of
know?
course.
So back in the day, like his moves.
Yeah.
So this was and then this brought the Dougie to the forefront. But yeah, any song about a dance, I'm into.
I guess so. The electric slide,
Sure, even that one.
the chicken dance.
Chicken Dance is great.
Okay.
I like some deeper cuts though too.
Like what?
There's
Give
a
me-
lot of.
give me a good deeper
I
cut.
like "Do the Strand" by Roxy Music. That's a pretty good one.
There you go.
Yeah, there's a ton of them. I mean, the Twist.
Oh,
that's a
Twist.
classic.
Maybe that's the first. I don't know. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
But that's like maybe the first rockish one.
Well, and then there's
on,
also the
baby.
version with that they did with the Fat Boys.
I don't remember that one.
Chubby Checker and the Fat Boys are doing the Twist.
Wow.
that was pretty good.
I think the Twist had a Christmas one too. It was like the Christmas Twist.
They
milked
did
it.
every twist they could.
Right. Let's Twist Again. I of course remember that
Yeah.
one. That was his second number one hit. But I like the dance tunes too. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah.
I think it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
And this is a fun song. It was kind of unexpected. It doesn't sound like anything else on the Hot 100 year-end list.
No,
you know?
this is a lot different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Shall we move on to my number 3?
Yeah, let's do it.
Maybe a controversial take. Not for the masses, not for the people out there, but maybe in this room, you and me, between you and me.
Gotcha.
TikTok by Keisha.
They kick us out. The police shut us down, down. Police shut us down, down. Po shut us down. Don't stop, make it pop. DJ blow my speakers up tonight. I'ma fight till we see the sunlight. Tick tock on the clock, but the party don't stop. No.
Yodel gets me every time.
Yeah. What do they call it? The millennial whoop? Is that what that is?
The millennial whoop
No, that's
is a minor third.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. This is more like the
It was a little yodely.
It's a little yodely. Well, she was doing her mom was a songwriter, and they moved to.
Okay.
She was in L.A. and Nashville. They moved to Nashville, I think, when Keisha was pretty young, and they would write stuff together. And the mom, and so that it's kind of a little more country to have the
Gotcha.
the yodel stuff.
Oh,
so
okay,
she
sure.
kind of already had it in her like quiver, you know. And I think it's a nice little piece to the end of that phrase. Like I think it's a neat thing. But anyway, this song
Isn't
TikTok.
it Kesha? Isn't it Kesha?
I thought it was Keisha. Is it Kesha?
Oh, I thought it was
don't know.
Kesha.
Maybe if you
All right.
you might know.
I'm gonna say Kesha. I'm gonna say Kesha.
Well, then I'm going to say Kesha too, because we want to be consistent here.
Yeah.
There's one thing we are is consistent.
Yeah.
But anyway, Kesha.
This was huge. This was number one. Right?
It was
on
number
the
one.
year-end list.
Yeah, and also
She had
charted
like
on
what
25.
4 or 5 songs on the list. She had a ton of them.
This was a big album for her. It was her first album called Animal. This song was number one for 9 weeks. It was a worldwide hit.
Crazy.
The album sold, I think the album sold something like 18 million, 10 million, I think, something like that. But this song, TikTok, became the number one selling digital single in history.
Still to this day?
As far as
Or
I know,
at
the
the time?
last I know of this is still the
Crazy.
case. Maybe something is overtaken at this point, but I don't know if people are buying singles anymore.
Right.
It
Yeah,
was
everyone's just streaming it on.
streaming
Everyone
it.
has a Spotify or whatever.
Right. Yeah, this is kind of a transitionary time with that, where there are these streaming networks, but people are still buying the
Right.
Apple Music or whatever, the downloads. So
Or iTunes or whatever was still a
iTunes.
thing at the time.
Yeah.
18 million digital
it
copies
was 18
has
million.
sold.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
uh-huh.
Yeah, I said it, but then it didn't feel right. So then I walked it back to 10, which I was like, I can rest my laurels on 10, but 18 confirmed right there.
As of 2019.
As of 2019.
Sold over 18 million.
Just crazy. So the song was written by Kesha and Dr. Luke. This is Lucas Gottwald. He was the SNL guitarist, Saturday Night Live guitarist, for about 10 years, from 97 to 2007. I don't know about this guy though, and
I didn't know that. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, from what I've heard, he's kind of a shady dude, right?
Yeah, I mean, so there was a lawsuit of Kesha against Dr. Luke. I guess he had signed her and like wouldn't let her out of the contract. But then she accused him of sexual assault and like other stuff. And I mean, the lawsuit was thrown out of court a couple times, but then they settled in 2023. I don't know there's so many details in this, and I just didn't have time to go through it all. So I don't know, but there's definitely smoke around him. So I get bad vibe. I don't know if it's true or not, but I get bad vibe about him. And anytime you're in a situation where I understand I understand you're in a contract, you should honor the contract, but like there are ways to get out of a contract. There's
Totally.
like usually clauses there to let you escape because no one's a slave. Like there's repercussions to breaking a contract, but those are usually monetary and then you're done. But
Right.
she couldn't record an album for like 5 years. So she did her first two
really
albums and then kind of, it hampered her drive. a bit.
Hijacked her career. Yeah.
Yeah. And I hate that kind of stuff. I mean,
It's obnoxious.
it is obnoxious. So anyway, I really like Kesha. Like I think she's super smart. This is kind of a dumb song, whatever, but it's super
a lot of her
catchy.
songs are dumb, but like it's catchy. You know,
It's
like
super
all the
catchy.
other ones too. Like they have a vibe.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like any kind of 8-bit sort of
Yep.
sounds. They use a lot of like, Nintendo noises and square wave synthesizers.
That's
you
right.
know?
Yeah.
So that's up my alley.
And that's actually happening a lot. Like there's very
Yeah.
Fergie-ish or even like Lady Gaga is very similar at this
Yeah.
time. You got a lot of that type of Katy Perry, a lot of that type of music.
Yep.
But I really like Kesha. Like I think she's super versatile. Her music, she's got folk music that she sings. She's got country. If you look through her discography and you listen to some stuff, some of these albums didn't do very well. There's this album Gag Order. Didn't do very well, but the songs are super pretty. Like they're stripped down, more folk. A lot of it's more folk, and I think she's just very gifted. She's got a great voice and smart head on her shoulders. So, funny thing about this song is it originally had a Diddy intro because she shouts out like in the first beginning of the verse. She says something like, "I woke up like I was at a party with Diddy" or something. I can't remember.
P. Diddy, yeah, she name checks him, right?
Name checks him. He actually came into the studio and wrote a little part there. But it's not on the most recent versions. Like I don't know that it was on the Spotify version, him there
Weird.
anymore.
No, I didn't hear it. Yeah.
On the video, it is because the video's from back in the day, and she took him out because of all the lawsuits. We talked about this when we did Quantum Week this last week.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Talked about Puff Daddy, or Diddy, I guess at this point. All the lawsuits
just
against
Diddy.
him at the end of the year. A lot of sexual assault allegations and lawsuits. So she's like, I'm taking him off this thing, and so he's gone from there.
So he's not in there. Okay. Hey, good for her.
Yep. So anyway, this was her big album, and then Warrior was the one after this. It only went gold. Which is still 500,000 copies, but like nowhere near as big as this debut. And then the lawsuit stuff happened and sort of, kind of slowed her down. But she's good. I recommend anybody listen to some of her later stuff. I think she's good.
Yeah. Right on. Good choice.
Your number 2.
My number 2 is Bad Romance by Lady Gaga.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah, this is a mega worldwide hit.
Mega hit. I also chose Lady Gaga for my number 2. It's a different song.
Oh, okay.
But maybe we
All
do
right.
that first, then we'll talk Gaga.
Sure. Yeah.
My number 2 is Paparazzi by Lady Gaga.
Cause you know that, baby, I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you until you love me. Paparazzi. Baby, there's no other superstar. You know that I'll be your paparazzi. Promise I'll be kind, but I won't stop until that boy is mine. Baby, you'll be famous.
The great Lady Gaga.
Good one. Yeah. This was a good year for her, right?
Very good year because this is her debut as well, right? In 2009 or something.
Well, it was weird. Like this.
Yeah, there's 2.
Bad Romance was off the Fame Monster, which
Yes.
was the reissued double album
The year
that
after.
included her first album, The
Yep.
Fame.
Yep, that's right.
Kind of weird, but hey, whatever, it worked for her.
Totally worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? Yeah, I like Lady Gaga. She's pretty good, and she's pretty consistently good. Bad Romance has awesome production.
Yes.
Great synths.
It does.
I like the synths. I mean, sold 12 million copies.
Yeah.
Bad Romance did,
Yeah.
Certified 11 times platinum.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
Pretty big.
Yeah, Paparazzi's cool too.
It is. I like it a bit. I'm not the biggest Lady Gaga guy.
I like a few songs.
I respect
I'm not
the
like
shit
way
out of
into
her.
it.
I respect
Totally.
the shit out of her because I just think she is super versatile too. Like her stuff with
Yep.
Tony Bennett is amazing.
Yeah.
Plus,
she's really good.
She's a great actress. I have
Yep.
not watched A Star Is Born yet. I have a hard
haven't
time.
either.
I have a hard time with music movies. Like I haven't watched the Queen biopic
Oh,
either.
right.
Because
Uh-huh,
I just have a really hard time doing it. Walk the Line, even though Walk the Line, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's good.
So good. Joaquin Phoenix is great. She's put us. I've heard that A Star Is Born is phenomenal and she's great in it.
Yep.
Whatever.
I'm sure she is.
But
she's always good.
She is great in House of Gucci. I will say that. I don't love
Okay.
that movie, but she's fantastic. So she's just so good. Like she's just
Mega talent.
One of the most versatile performers, artists out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Paparazzi was from the so the Fame was a debut album, and
Yeah.
Paparazzi was the 5th single released off of that. So that's crazy. It also had Just Dance, a good song, Poker Face, a cool song,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Love Game, 18 million copies of that puppy, and here we are. I mean, she was just
Crazy.
just rocket ship. Also, that guy, Dr. Luke. From he was also in this sphere too. Like he was working on some of
see.
these songs. I think he like co-wrote a couple of these songs too. He was big. He had his tentacles everywhere at this time.
Right. Yeah. This was the time for him.
Yeah, but she's just for me like taste. She makes. I love that she takes chances. She does things like odd. She does makes odd choices, and I really appreciate that. But usually they're not the choices for me. But I do really appreciate that she does weird stuff. You know.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. I also wanted to say so later on, then she does like basically an acoustic album. This is very similar to Kesha. Like for some reason, I mean, Lady Gaga's got a much bigger career and then she's got all the acting and stuff too, but very versatile in terms of the music that she puts out. Do you know the song Joanne by Lady Gaga?
No, I don't.
Here, I'm going to play you a little bit of it because
Okay.
this one kills me. This is a great song. Here it is.
My voice gets thin. Girl, where do you think you're going? Where do you think you're going, girl?
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. She wrote that for her aunt, Joanne.
Okay. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, she's a
Yeah.
great. She started off as a songwriter too, right? Like before she did her own thing.
Absolutely. I think she was signed as a songwriter first and went through a couple different labels, but then she's in New York with this guy, Rob Fusari, who's like a big producer, 20 years her elder. They were in a relationship and they wrote Paparazzi together in some of her songs. I think their relationship had ended by the time her album went out, but he's credited on a few of the songs from the Fame.
Yep.
And she's a good writer. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
gotta hand it to her for that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about with the Gaga?
No, that's what I've got.
Actually, do you know her name? Like, do you know where her name's from? I mean,
is it from like Radio Gaga?
Yeah. Like, I mean, that would be the guess, right? And it is.
Yeah.
Like he, that producer Rob Fusari was the one who they loved Queen, and so he's like, oh, we should call you Lady Gaga.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So
Cool.
that's cool, right?
Yeah.
So that's our number twos. We're on to your number one, I think.
Yeah. My number one is Forever by Drake with Kanye, Lil Wayne, and Eminem.
Ain't nothing to y'all. Understand nothing was done for me, so I don't plan on stopping at all. I want this shit forever, mine, ever mine, ever mine. I'm shutting shit down in the mall and telling that girl she the one for me, and I ain't even planning the call. I want this shit forever, mine, ever mine.
Ever Mr. West is in the building. Ain't no question who about to kill. I used to have hood.
There you go.
This is a good one. I don't really like the hook that much, but the rapping is awesome on this. So it's like, it's like a posse cut, they call it, where there's a bunch of, everyone does a verse. So it's Drake and Kanye, then Lil Wayne, then Eminem, and everyone kills it. It's just a really good song.
Yeah.
And it's long too. It's like 6 minutes long.
I love the other three, but Drake, I have this thing against Drake.
He's not my guy. I'm not a huge fan of him. I was a little weird about putting this in there, but man, it's pretty good. Like the Kanye, like
Kanye's great.
Yeah, and so is Lil Wayne, and
Lil Wayne
Eminem
and
kills it
Eminem's,
too. Yeah.
Right.
This was, I mean, Lil Wayne's one of those guys who guests on everyone's tracks
Yeah, he does.
too. He's all over the
He's
place.
everywhere.
But this is a big hit. Jay-Z called it the best posse cut of the decade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
High praise
So there
from
you go.
Jay-Z.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Drake. I've just never. I always have like a thing against Drake. I just think that
It doesn't
he's,
usually resonate with me. I'm not like, I hear a song, I'm like, okay, whatever, not for me. But I like this one.
This-
but
yeah.
you know, the hook is not my favorite.
No,
But
he's background music.
all the rapping is good. Yeah, exactly.
Like he's the kind of guy, like he'll always kill it on the Hot 100 because people will spin him in the background and while
Totally.
they're texting on their phone, while they're chatting on their phones or playing
Right,
video
right,
games or
right.
something. But not really. You know, he's not an artist to listen to like the other ones are, like Eminem is, like
Right.
Kanye is, like
Sure.
You know, so, but yeah, no, a good one. I didn't make my honorable mention. Wasn't going to be on my list,
No?
but I have a thing against Drake.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to go too much harder than that right now.
I don't have a thing. I mean, I guess he's kind of whatever. I mean, I'm not a big fan in general, but I do like this song.
Okay, right on. Anything
Yeah.
else you want to talk about with Drake and all
No,
these
that's
people?
it.
Number one is I love this song so much, dude. I love this so much. I've got so much to say about it, but
Yeah.
I'll try to stay contained. This is "Teenage Dream" by Katy Perry. From the same album,
one.
Teenage Dream, Katy
Yeah.
Perry hit number 17 on the year end. Did hit number 1 on the weekly charts. This is just a brilliantly written. I love this album.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a big. There aren't a lot of like female teeny bopper artists out there that I love, but there's a few that I just think are phenomenal, and Katy Perry is one of them for me.
Yeah,
I
she
love
has some
this
good
album.
songs.
Yeah, I love it. Fireworks on this album. I mean,
Yep.
E.T. Last Friday Night's a great song. Also has what's the one with Snoop Dogg? Oh, California Girls. with
California
Snoop Dogg.
Girls. That was a big hit too. That was number 4 on the year end.
Yes, that was number 4. Was the bigger hit, but I love this one more.
Yeah, Teenage Dream's good.
Such a good song. I mean, it's got a Phoenix vibe. That album, the Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix. I love that album so much. It's got a very similar vibe
Yep.
on this album, where it's just these heavy synths and
Yep.
some nice strummy electric guitar kit in her, and like, it's just so good.
Yes.
I actually want to cover this album with Barbara someday. Like I
yeah, do it.
I would love to do it sometime. Sometime when
Nice.
we have a little bit of free time to do it, I would love to just knock this album out of the park. But
Yeah.
one of the
Was
reasons
this one Dr. Luke? Was this Dr. Luke production?
he might have too.
Or
He
is-
was all over these. Like he was on one
Yeah.
of. He was on.
He did
found Katy Perry.
California Girls.
Yes, that's right. He might have done this too, though. I can't quite remember.
Okay.
She's always got like, she's a co-write type of situation. So
Yep.
she's always writing
Yeah.
with other people. But
Cora is a bunch of people.
yeah.
Her, Bonnie McKee,
Right.
Dr. Luke, Max Martin, and Benny Blanco. Or Blanco. I don't know how to say it.
I think Benny is somehow affiliated with Dr. Luke, maybe like a protege situation or
Oh,
something.
okay.
Something like that. Because I think he's on the
He
Kesha
shows
stuff
up,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, brilliantly
Yeah,
produced.
he was mentored. Benny was mentored by Dr. Luke.
Look at this poll. Look at this
Yeah.
poll I just pulled.
Nicely done, man.
But the production on this, listen to this album, and headphones.
good.
I mean, it just
Yeah.
sounds so good. And pound for pound, I don't know if you watch these things, but like hers is the best Super Bowl halftime show I have ever seen. It is
it's
so
pretty good.
amazing. Her entering on that big cat, like,
Yeah.
lion tiger thing.
Yeah.
It's so good. She's so good. But anyway, I want to talk about the construction of the song a little bit because
Okay.
it blows my mind. So it's very similar to the construction of Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. And I have
Okay.
long been infatuated with that song. It's basically a 2-chord song. That's it. And the cool thing is like, if you think about why it's so haunting and beautiful, and even though it's so simple, it just captures me. And the reason why is when you listen to it, they never give you a break. It's straight tension the whole way through, and they never let you land on the relief of that tension. Now, relief of that tension is in a key, is the 1 chord of the key. It's like going back to home. And
Sure.
what happens in Dreams is it's the 4 chord and then the 5 chord over and over. And she's actually she's
okay,
singing the
yeah.
minor mode, but basically she's singing like the major scale over it. And it's the minor mode because she's landing on the 6th. But the chord never resolves to 1 ever. And the same damn thing happens in this song. The only different, and so you listen to the bass is 4/5. And she's singing, this time she's singing the major over it. She's like really nailing that tonic, like right on that 1. She's like, da-na-na-na-na. She's like all around that 1, but they never resolve to it. So it's just this tension the whole way through. I love it. It's beautiful construction.
Cool.
Yeah. One of the best
Good one.
songs. I love this. I love this song. I love this album. I can't say enough about it.
Right on.
Right on. So what did you think about this time? So I liked this better than the 2000s. The 2001, right?
Absolutely.
You felt the same way. Okay.
Yes.
What did you garner when what struck you when you were looking at this?
I mean, there was a lot of very dramatic hip hop beats with female singers over it, to varying degrees of success, in my opinion. There was a lot of just straight up pop stuff. There was a few archetypes. The dramatic beats with the female singing over it was huge. Then there's all the Kesha stuff is almost like a genre of its own, like that kind of pop. We're firmly in like the auto-tune era.
Yes.
So there's a lot of egregious use of auto-tune, which is, whatever. It is what it is. It's just a stylistic thing. There's a lot of pretty crappy songs too, I think.
Yeah.
Ones that I just didn't like. There's who's the guy who says his name at the beginning of every song who had a bunch of songs on it? Jason Derulo. He had like 3 or 4 songs on there, and he name checks himself at the beginning. There's a lot of like guest star stuff on this.
A lot of guests.
I don't really like the Black Eyed Peas, and they had a few songs on here.
I'll talk about them in a second.
Yeah. There was there was some really bad ones too. I'm trying to find it. I don't know. What did you think? Did you have some
nothing heavy
dislikes?
Like there's no like real rock music. That Animal song was there was maybe 2 or 3 rock tunes or like
There's
indie
like that
rock tunes.
Kings of Leon song.
There was that one,
rock
which
tune, right?
I'm not a Kings of
Fine.
Leon fan. Yeah, I just don't. They're
Not
nothing
really. It's
special.
whatever.
Yeah. So that's not my thing. But no heavy, no rock. Really,
No, definitely no rock.
It's more
like
like
heavy rock.
Yeah, not at all. I found that things were very homogenized. So
Totally.
people are using the same sounds, the same synths, the same beats, like that type of thing. You've got that house sort of keyboard thing happening, and I also like production wise too. The vocals are so forward.
Yeah.
And by the time we get to 2010, sometimes when I was listening to that, some of the songs, it really kind of like knocked me back a little bit. I was like, oh yeah, wow, this is like, we've really come
Everything is so compressed,
super
too.
compressed
and
and
it's
way
really
forward. Yeah.
in your face. Yeah, not a lot of room to breathe in a lot of these songs.
No, and that's part of the homogenization too. It's like everything's the same level, all the way through even the quiet parts. So yeah. What other? Yeah, the other rock was pretty mediocre. Other rock that I found that was mediocre was Daughtry too. Like they were on this list, and I'm like, these people are just not.
I don't like that.
So it's like, wow, what rock really kind of is dead? Like we need a little resurgence of that. The women are making the best music. That's the other thing.
Absolutely,
Like,
absolutely.
Most of the songs on here are the ladies, and they really sort of take over. I think.
Totally.
So that's what I sort of. That's what I sort of found. I did think that the top 10 this time was way stronger than the 2000 top 10.
Way better.
Because you've got, we'll just go through it. We have TikTok, that Kesha
That's
song.
a good one. I don't like Lady Antebellum. I don't care for that.
No, but it's not a bad song. Like it's all right. It's not my thing.
I would 100% change it if it came on.
Yeah, I don't love them, but I felt
like
like
that.
it was
Yeah.
okay. I felt like the song was at least an okay song. You don't think
Fair
that, though.
enough.
You hate that. You hate it.
I don't like it. I mean, it's a fine song. It's not for me.
And then Hey Soul Sister is on my worst list. That's number
Train
3.
is just bad always, I feel like. But
Listen to-
California Girls is fine.
Yes. That OMG song's okay. I'm not a big Will.i.am
it's
guy,
all right.
but not bad.
The
Airplanes.
Airplane song with what's her name from Paramore? That's all right. Haley Williams. That's fine. Yeah.
Right.
I had no problem with that one.
And
The
then,
Eminem and Rihanna song is fine.
yep. Bad Romance.
Bad
good
Romance
song.
is good. I like that one.
And that Dynamite song's not bad.
I didn't really like that. those two, the 9 and 10 by that guy. I mean, even, you know, and then Ludacris guests on Break Your Heart, number 10.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, but better than the 2000 list.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I would never have picked anything on that list to listen to.
No.
Yeah.
But then, you know, in 2010, there's a lot of like shitty party anthems, you know, like Pitbull and DJ Khaled,
That's true.
stuff like that.
Yep.
Which not really for me.
No, agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
Worst songs.
Oh man.
So Hey Soul Sister definitely, you know, that's
totally.
on my list.
That's
like,
probably
you know.
the top of my bad list. That Billionaire song I don't like.
Nope, not good.
What else?
Oh.
I'm a Bee by Black Eyed Peas. I found
Exactly.
that song to be so annoying.
You've got right here for Black Eyed Peas. You've got I Got a Feeling. Such a
Ugh.
crappy song. They're
Ugh.
such frauds. They're
Yeah,
such
they
frauds
really-
because all they do is they say the same stupid platitude over and over. I got a feeling
Yep.
tonight's gonna be a good night, and they just say the same stupid
just
platitude over
Yep.
and over, and they think it's they try to like trick you with production. Like we're gonna go, or now we're gonna whatever synthesize. Oh,
thought
now
it
we're gonna
was
drop
just-
out.
Trying to make money.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like.
And they did.
And you're right. There's a lot of Black Eyed Peas inspired stuff like that. Club Can't Handle Me, that Flo Rida song or
Yeah,
whatever. That's very Black Eyed Peas.
Yep.
Yeah, Dynamite. I Got a Feeling. The OMG song, that Usher OMG. That's very Black Eyed Peas.
It's all
too.
right, yeah.
These are all Black Eyed Peas tunes, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then you get also, I guess this isn't on my worst list, but there's a bunch of Taylor Swift stuff too. She was, had a bunch of hits here too.
Interesting you mentioned that because this is when she's country. And I find that she's better as a country singer than she is as a pop musician.
Okay.
Like that, I actually just listened to her new album, Tip to Tails, and I was like, the whole thing, I'm like, fraud. Like, this is not good. This is not
really?
good. This is not good.
I don't think I've ever listened to a whole album.
Yeah, I did because I
By
wanted,
her.
because I see like these 40-year-old men who are like Taylor Swifties.
Yeah, I know.
Stands,
People get
and
way
I'm-
into it.
And I'm like, okay, well, let me just give this a shot.
There's got to
then.
be something here, right? Yeah.
And I listened to it. I'm like, it's just schlock. I mean, it works for her as a country singer because because
well, country music is pretty schlocky in general.
schlocky. It's adult contemporary anyway.
Or it can be. You can definitely get away with schlock in
You can
country music,
absolutely.
and a lot of people do.
Yeah, but no, she wanted to be a pop star, and I mean, she made.
Hey, whatever.
Like,
She's made $1 billion.
She's $1 billion, but I don't like it.
She could noticeably affect the economy by her tour, right? Like that's wild. It's pretty wild.
It is wild, but it's not good. So the other ones I found were Just the Way You Are, the Bruno Mars songs.
Oh,
you
yeah,
might as well be
that's not
trained.
good.
You might as
Yeah,
well be trained, Bruno Mars.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah. It's too bad because Bruno Mars says some good stuff.
Yeah, he's a good musician. He's a great
Yeah,
singer. And
totally.
a fantastic
Awesome
performer. Great
Yeah.
performer. Yeah, his dance moves,
Absolutely.
his show
He's
is
really
great.
good.
Another one, Fireflies by Owl City. Now, do you know that one?
I listened to it. It was weird. It was weird that it was on this list.
Dude, I know Owl City from very early on. He was doing like Facebook stuff in the
Interesting.
early 2000s. And so and he was doing electronic stuff in his own room with him singing. And like the production was pretty good given all that stuff. And so I always kind of rooted for him. But this song sucks. It's like so cheesy. Yeah.
I heard it come on. I was like, okay, interesting. Where's this going to go? And as soon as the vocals started, I was like, no, this blows.
No, it's so, he's so affected. I wonder if he's got like a bad natural voice because
maybe because it's so pitched.
like so
and
pitched.
Like a tube sound, there's
Sounds
like
like
no variation. Yeah.
Yep.
And that guy got flack for just sounding like the Postal Service. Too,
Yeah.
Which is, it's an easy comparison.
It is. Yeah.
But yeah, that song was not great.
Not great. The other one was Misery by Maroon 5. Now, Maroon 5 is one of my biggest disappointments in bands ever. Because when their first song came out,
Right. Yeah. Not bad. Right.
Now, I mean, it's a very simple riff or whatever, but I loved that song. I can't blanking on the title right now, but that one, and even their second song that came out, which was This Love, not a bad song. Boo doo doo. It was like a neat riff thing that went down the chord, and I was like, okay. And the guy's got like a nice range, and he, it's a super tight like simple band guitar bass kit. And I'm like, okay, I like this. And then it just gets worse and worse as time goes on. They're big disappointment.
So bad.
They're so bad. They might as well be trained too. They're just it's gross.
Yeah, they're the caboose.
They're the back end of the train.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, that's my worst list. We've gone through the best list. We've gone through what we thought about the time period. Anything else you think we need to cover?
No, I think we went through it.
This has definitely been interesting. I'm very interested. You know, if the fans can't follow, I'm sure you probably can.
Yeah,
We've done 80,
figure it out.
90,
What's
2000.
next, right?
This is 2010. We're going to do 2020. We just figured we'd go right
Yeah.
up the decades and just kind of see. 2020 will be interesting because I don't know a lot of them. I'm guessing I'll know even half the songs that I knew for
Right.
2010. You know, there's not going to be a lot. So it'll just be interesting to hear what's kind of going on. And
Yeah.
maybe there'll be some gems there. There'll be some good music that I'd never heard
There
before.
usually are a few gems. It's weird in pop music because it's so based on who's hot and what's trendy, you know?
Yeah.
And if that's not your flavor at the time, you're not going to like a lot of the songs.
No, and by 2010, I'm not like there's no real radio for.
Yeah.
I'm on Pandora at this point. Like that's what I'm
Right,
doing.
right.
And so you know, I'm picking an artist, and it's feeding me music. But a lot of it is
Yep.
is indie stuff that happened in 2010, but just would never touch this chart.
Yeah,
like
not popular, not on the
Saint
pop
Vincent
charts. Yeah.
and you know,
Sure.
and all sorts of indie
St.
artists.
Vincent's good.
Oh, I love her. She has a
She has
I
a
love
new
her. She's
album
great.
out, right? Yeah.
I think she does. Yeah. Yeah,
Killer
she's
guitar
great.
player.
Super quirky. Great guitar player. Great voice. Yeah.
Awesome songwriter. Good
Awesome
production
songwriter.
on all of her albums. Yeah. she's
Exactly.
good.
It was this, or there was like, you know, there was a lot of like Arcade Fire stuff that was happening at this
Yep.
time too, but that's not my stuff either and didn't chart.
either.
So anyway, cool. Yeah, I think that's it for me then. And yeah,
Yeah,
I'm looking forward
that's
to
all
the
I got.
2020 and then,
Yeah,
we'll
absolutely.
figure something else out.
Do
but-
something else.
All right. Cool. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll check you next time. Goodbye.